On a quiet Sunday afternoon in wartime England, four boys wandered through the dense shadows of Hagley Wood, searching for birds' eggs, but instead stumbled upon a chilling secret hidden deep within an old wych elm. There, staring blankly from the hollow darkness, was a human skull, crooked teeth gleaming in silent horror. Who was this woman sealed away inside the tree, and why had no one reported her missing? Soon, cryptic graffiti appeared, whispering a name through the fog of war: Bella. 8 decades later, the mystery endures, a haunting puzzle of espionage, witchcraft, and secrecy, begging the question that still echoes. On a Sunday afternoon in April of 1943, deep within the tangled branches of Hagley Wood in Worcestershire, 4 boys set out to distract themselves from the hardships of wartime Britain by hunting for bird eggs. But their innocent exploration soon took a sinister turn, uncovering something that would haunt their community for generations. As 15-year-old Bob Farmer scrambled up the trunk of an old, twisted wych elm, he peered down into its dark, hollow interior, hoping to glimpse a nest or a cluster of speckled eggs. Instead, his gaze was met by the chilling sight of a human skull staring back at him, its empty sockets black and foreboding, tufts of hair still clinging stubbornly, and jagged, crooked teeth fixed in a grotesque grin. Shocked and horrified, the boys frantically fled the scene, their youthful curiosity giving way to fear as they vowed among themselves to keep their grisly discovery a secret. But secrets have a way of unraveling, especially when the truth is as disturbing as this. That night, tormented by nightmares and overcome with guilt and terror, the youngest boy, 13-year-old Tommy Willits, finally broke down and confessed everything to his father. By sunrise, the peaceful quiet of Hagley Wood was shattered as local police, accompanied by investigators from nearby Birmingham, swarmed through the undergrowth, combing meticulously through the woodland shadows. Inside the cramped, hollow trunk of the wych elm, they carefully extracted not only the skull, but nearly an entire skeleton, its bones twisted and folded to fit the narrow, unnatural grave. Alongside the skeletal remains, the investigators recovered a single worn shoe, fragments of inexpensive clothing, and a thin, gold-plated wedding ring, small clues that only deepened the mystery. Most baffling of all, the victim's left hand was missing, deliberately severed or perhaps torn away. A gruesome detail accentuated days later when police unearthed finger bones and the detached hand buried separately, hidden beneath the forest floor roughly 100 yards from the elm. Who was this nameless victim, discarded and concealed with such strange and chilling precision? And what sinister tale was her final resting place, desperate to hide? Pathologist Professor James Webster, examining the remains, pieced together a chilling portrait. A woman aged around 35, roughly 5 feet tall, with light brown hair and distinctive overlapping front teeth. She had died at least 18 months earlier, placing her death sometime in late 1941. The key clue, a scrap of taffeta cloth forced deep into her throat, suggesting death by suffocation. Given the confined space within the wych elm, Webster concluded grimly that she had been shoved inside while still warm. Before rigor mortis set in, the police circulated her description widely, hoping for an identification: a petite woman wearing a mustard skirt, striped cardigan, and crepe-soled shoes. Despite extensive efforts, wartime chaos meant no matches were found in missing person reports. Neighbours recalled distant screams from the wood in late 1941, dismissed at the time as animals, but now those echoes became hauntingly sinister. Months passed and the case slipped from public consciousness until late 1943, when cryptic graffiti began appearing across the West Midlands. Chalked on a wall in Old Hill, a mysterious message read, "Who put Lubella down the wych elm?" Later, graffiti simplified it to "Who put Bella in the wych elm?", forever giving the unknown victim her name, Bella. Authorities wondered, was this a taunt from the killer or a plea from someone who knew too much? Theories emerged, each more sensational than the last. A tip in 1944 suggested Bella might have been a local prostitute from Birmingham's Hagley Road, who disappeared in 1941, perhaps a victim of violence from a client. But no solid evidence surfaced. Then, in 1945, just as World War II was drawing to a close, the already baffling Bella mystery took a chilling and unexpected turn. Renowned anthropologist and expert in folklore, Margaret Murray, publicly proposed a theory that would send shockwaves through the investigation and the public imagination. Drawing on her extensive studies of occult rituals, Murray suggested Bella's murder wasn't merely an ordinary crime, but something far darker and more sinister, a ritualistic killing steeped in black magic. Murray pointed to the victim's mysteriously severed hand, speculating it could have been deliberately removed to create a hand of glory, eerie talisman long believed, according to English folklore, to bestow supernatural powers, most commonly the ability to unlock any door and paralyze victims. Traditionally, the hand of glory required the left hand from a hanged criminal, dried and pickled, with its fingers lit like candles during nocturnal burglaries or clandestine rituals. Although Bella's hand did not precisely fit this description, she was neither hanged nor confirmed to be a criminal. Murray argued that regional variations of this occult practice might still explain the grim dismemberment and unusual disposal of her body. Murray's startling claims gained traction partly due to their timing and locality. Earlier that same year, just a short distance away in the quiet Warwickshire village of Lower Quinton, another bizarre murder had occurred. Charles Walton, a farm labourer, had been found brutally slain in circumstances strongly suggestive of witchcraft or ritualistic sacrifice. Walton's throat had been slashed with a hook, his body pinned to the ground with a pitchfork, a scene disturbingly reminiscent of medieval folklore involving blood sacrifice. The proximity and strangeness of these two cases occurring within a few short years sparked rumours that perhaps a sinister occult group was secretly operating in the Midlands. Initially intrigued and understandably troubled by Murray's theory, police did pursue this angle briefly, interviewing locals and examining the case through the lens of possible occult practices. Detectives even re-examined the severed hand for clues, searching for ritualistic markings or indicators of black magic. But despite the sensational claims, no concrete evidence emerged linking Bella's death conclusively to any coven or occult group. Skeptics quickly dismissed Murray's theory as sensationalism, pointing out that while strange, the circumstances around Bella's murder did not fit neatly into known occult rituals. No symbols, no additional markings, and no explicit ritual artifacts were ever discovered. In the end, the police formally set aside the witchcraft theory, considering it nothing more than a disturbing but ultimately unsupported detour. The mystery deepened dramatically in 1953. A decade after Bella's discovery, the unsolved murder still lingered heavily on the minds of locals. Seeking answers, journalist Wilfred Byford Jones, writing under the pen name Questa, decided to revisit the strange case in a compelling series for the Wolverhampton Express and Star. The series caught the attention of readers, and soon Byford Jones received a chilling letter from a woman signing herself simply as Anna, writing from a nearby village. In cryptic, unsettling terms, Anna declared, "You will never solve the mystery. The one person who could give the answer is beyond earthly courts." Intrigued and disturbed, Byford Jones pressed Anna for more. In subsequent correspondence, she elaborated, painting a picture of espionage and betrayal in the midst of wartime England. According to Anna, the unidentified victim found in Hagley Wood was no ordinary woman. She was Dutch, an undercover agent who had illegally entered the country around 1941 as part of a spy network collecting intelligence on local munitions factories and military targets. Anna's shocking claim went further. The woman had been betrayed and murdered not by strangers, but by Anna's own ex-husband, a local man named Jack Mossop, along with a shadowy Dutch operative known only as Van Raalte. They had allegedly killed the woman because Anna chillingly stated she knew too much. Anna's letter became even more unsettling when it turned toward her ex-husband's fate. Jack Mossop, she wrote, had spiraled into madness shortly after the murder, haunted relentlessly by guilt and terror. According to family members interviewed later by police, Mossop became increasingly withdrawn, tormented night after night by a horrifying recurring nightmare in which a woman's face, ghostly pale and accusing, stared at him silently from within the dark branches of a tree. His mental health deteriorated rapidly under the weight of this gruesome hallucination, and he was eventually institutionalized. Mossop died in a Staffordshire asylum in August of 1942, mere months after Bella's presumed death, his mind consumed by this image of the woman trapped forever in the tree. The precise and haunting similarity between Mossop's nightmare and the actual circumstances of the victim's discovery, so specific, so unusual, casts an eerie shadow over the case. If Mossop was indeed involved, his dreams suggest a deep-seated guilt or overwhelming fear that literally haunted him to the grave. Yet even if innocent, the coincidence of such a detailed vision remains inexplicable and unsettling, a ghostly echo adding psychological horror to the already disturbing narrative of the Hagley Wood mystery. Investigators, intrigued by Anna's dramatic claims, quickly arranged a clandestine meeting at the Dick Whittington Inn in December of 1953, hoping to finally shed light on Bella's murder. Under strict secrecy, police and journalist Wilfred Byford Jones arrived at the pub, expecting Anna to step forward and deliver her revelations in person. Instead, what unfolded was a peculiar and almost farcical scene. Several young women entered the pub that evening, each discreetly observed by undercover detectives. But confusion quickly set in, as investigators realized they had no reliable way of identifying the mysterious informant. One by one, these women left without providing any clues or even approaching the waiting police, and soon it became painfully clear that Anna, aware of their scrutiny, had deliberately slipped away unseen. Only later did Byford Jones learn the chilling truth. Anna had indeed been in the room. She had entered, immediately recognized the police presence, and quietly retreated into the darkness, leaving behind only frustration and unanswered questions. The detectives had stood just feet away from the one person who might have unraveled the Hagley Wood mystery, yet she vanished like a ghost, leaving them empty-handed. This unsettling cat-and-mouse scenario, a rare real-life example of a botched sting from decades past, only deepened the mystery. Anna's vanishing act transformed the Bella case, intertwining it irrevocably with espionage and wartime intrigue, leaving investigators haunted by how tantalizingly close they had come to finally uncovering the truth. In subsequent decades, Bella's case drifted between local legend and cold case obscurity. Her skeletal remains mysteriously vanished from police custody, thwarting modern DNA efforts. Periodically, graffiti asking "Who put Bella in the Wych Elm?" reappeared on the Witchbury Hill obelisk, continually reigniting public curiosity. By the 21st century, fresh theories emerged and fell away. The popular notion linking Bella to Clara Bauerle, a German cabaret singer and suspected Nazi spy, briefly captivated researchers, until a 2016 discovery proved Bauerle had died in Berlin, eliminating her as a candidate. In 2018, a strikingly lifelike digital facial reconstruction by forensic experts renewed hope that Bella's face might spark recognition. But again, the effort produced no definitive answers. In 2023, on the case's 80th anniversary, a BBC investigative podcast series made a final passionate appeal, hoping Bella's bones, lost somewhere in forgotten storage rooms, might resurface to solve the enduring puzzle through genetic genealogy. As of today, Bella's identity and killer remain hidden behind layers of conflicting theories. Was she the victim of an occult ritual, silenced for espionage, or simply a woman whose tragic death went unclaimed amidst wartime chaos? The answer might forever be out of reach, obscured by time, lost evidence, and the silence of those who knew the truth. The haunting question, first scrawled on a wall in wartime Britain, "Who put Bella in the Wych Elm?" continues to echo through history. Perhaps it's that lingering uncertainty, that elusive, unknowable truth that keeps us returning decade after decade to this haunting, unsolved mystery. We may never know who Bella truly was, nor exactly why she met her grim end, but her story remains, fixed in our imaginations, reminding us how easily truth can vanish into shadows, and how a simple question asked by an unknown hand can linger forever in the dark corners of memory.